Hello and welcome to Nobody's Watching, episode 25. Today we're going to look at some slightly advanced tactics for pinball. If you watch this channel a lot, you'll know that when we talk about tactics in pinball, we talk about positional advantage, maintaining control over the battlefield and lines of sight. We've previously done videos looking at the basics, including loadout, so if you're looking for that kind of stuff, it's on the channel. This video is going to delve a little deeper into some of the more advanced tactics and mechanics within Nerf Superblast. If you're a regular player and you're near the top of the leaderboard, like some of my regular viewers are, then the chances are I might not teach you much in this video. However, if you're a newer player and you're looking to up your game and improve your tactics, this might be the video for you. So you've mastered the basics, you've got a good team behind you, and you're looking to take your gameplay to the next level. Here's some of the things that you want to look at. Firstly, you want to start familiarising yourself with some of the other blasters within the game, as well as the power cards within the game. Not just the blasters that you've got levelled up and the ones that you actively use. We can look at this in the menu. When you go in to look at your list of blasters, you can see every blaster, not just the ones you've got unlocked. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see all the ones that you're still waiting to find. So if I wanted to look at the Dreadbolt, I can load it up, I can check out its statistics and see it's slow moving, it's got a long respawn delay and a very long auto shoot range. You can also look at the Nerf superpowers, which is what you want to pay attention to, and try and memorise them, especially on blasters if they give you a hard time. So as we know, the Dreadbolt turns fallen enemies into zombies, which is very powerful. You should also go into the power card section and try and memorise all the power cards and what they do. First, we're going to look at the sneak attack card, which enables you to teleport behind your closest opponent. Opponents who have the sneak attack card will often teleport behind you right at the beginning of a match. They can immediately break your line before you've even formed it. So one of the things that you want to do about that is watch your minimap when you start the game, and that way you can watch for the red dot appearing on your side of the screen. We see that happens now, so we can immediately turn and try and focus on that particular enemy. We eliminate the threat, which enables us to move forward and try and take control of the centre of the battlefield. The opponent sneak attacked us with the Trilogy DS15. If you notice the blaster and you're familiar with it, you can have an idea of how long the respawn delay is. In this case it's 32 seconds, so we can expect to be sneak attacked about twice a minute. You obviously can't memorise the respawn time of all blasters, but they tend to fall into three categories of short, which is below 20 seconds, medium, which is around the 30-second mark, or long, which is closer to a minute. Once you familiarise yourself with blasters by playing with them and against them, you start to get a feel for which blasters will respawn when. So if you notice a sneak attack on a blaster with a very short respawn delay, like say the Commander, then you can expect to be sneak attacked a lot. You need to be constantly aware of a threat like a sneak attack on the battlefield. You see it happens there, so we've got two on the battlefield now, so we turn, eliminate that opponent and continue. If you're the token carrier, you very particularly want to be aware of this threat, and you might want to make sure that you're not the person who's the furthest forward, so that if an opponent does sneak attack, they'll bump into one of your teammates rather than you. If you're in a position like I am, where your teammates are close to you, you can be more assured that if you drop the tokens, they'll pick them up. You can also be assured that if somebody does sneak attack you, there'll be three of you there to take them out, so it's not a one-on-one situation. I get taken out, but now the countdown is on. We've got no tokens, obviously, so we're going to load in with Rivonics. We're going to switch on the manual fire mode, and we're just going to run forward, meet wave, use the shield, and try and play the tank role. Unfortunately, one of our teammates goes down just at the end there. So I'm continuing to play distraction, turn around, see the tokens are all there for the taking, so we're going to pick those up, fall back to a better position, and now our teammates have spawned back in. They're there for support, so now we're in a very strong position for this countdown. See, we're not abandoning them, we're providing support fire with the Rivonics, knowing that we're safe with the shield if we need it. A nice comfortable win. My teammates in this match are Mr Croat and FaceFull. They're bringing in two Dreadbolts, the Select and the Rivonics. So starting in the centre, keep an eye on the minimap, you see another sneak attack come in. This time it's somebody using the Ultra 2. I know the Ultra 2 has a very short respawn delay, so we can expect that sneak attack to be a constant threat throughout this match. It's easy to be prepared for it at the beginning of the match, but we need to keep our eye on the minimap throughout this match, because that's going to be coming in fairly often and it's easy to forget about it. They can very easily break your line if you don't realise someone sneak attacked you. So there it in comes again. All three of us immediately focus fire and we take the threat down. FaceFull is forward with the Rivonics, laying down some heavy covering fire on the opponent's spawn point. FaceFull is forward with that Rivonics and he's laying down some heavy covering fire onto the opposing spawn point. However, FaceFull has 4 tokens, so I push forward. And I immediately intercept the sneak attack, so that would have gone to FaceFull, but instead it goes to me. I turn around and take them out because I'm watching the minimap, and their wave collapses, so there's just one now, easily falls down, and now the dribs and drabs have started. Because I've got no tokens, I want to maintain a forward position. I know that sneak attack's going to keep coming back, so now I'm going to try and stay forward, using that healing bar when I get the opportunity to. I wouldn't be naturally in first position if I was using the select, however, when I need to protect my teammates and disrupt my opponents, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're being versatile and we're switching roles based on what's going on the battlefield at the time. We managed to survive long enough to get a couple of hits on that healing bar, which has made a big difference, and now we can push forward towards our opponent's spawn point. You can see my teammates aren't just falling back, but they are moving forward, protecting it and helping to stop the opponents from gaining that final pushback. Easy victory. It's really key to keep your eye on the minimap, especially at the start, because that's when a sneak attack's likely to come. So we move forward, we see immediately someone sneak attacking in there. They've got the Motor Blitz. I'm not overly familiar with the Motor Blitz. I expect a respawn time somewhere between the 30 to 45 second mark, so that's something that we're going to be aware of through this match. And we've immediately eliminated the first wave. We keep an eye on the minimap. That tells us when our opponents are spawning back in and also where our teammates are. In Pinball, you should treat the minimap like you treat your mirrors when you're driving. You should be checking them periodically, and you should also check them before and when you're in movement between different positions, so that you can keep an eye on where everybody else is and maintain that wider concept of what you're doing, so that you don't accidentally walk into a trap or leave your teammates under the cosh when you could be supporting them. You see the sneak attack on the minimap, I spotted it, so I move forward, help my teammates to take that out, and now we're back to comfortably controlling the middle of the battlefield. Let's just watch that again. The sneak attack comes in on the centre right of the battlefield there. Both FaceFull and Mr Croat also spot this, because if you watch their positioning as I move up to face the challenge, you see FaceFull turn to face the threat immediately, Mr Croat falling back, presumably reloading, or just dodging the pinball. But as there's no other threats on the battlefield, he pushes straight back forward, comes out of the central tunnel and turns to fight the threat along with FaceFull and I. So we very quickly eliminate the sneak attack. And the minimap tells you that whole story. So you see Mr Croat at the end there. This is why you need to keep an eye on that minimap. All of us were doing it. We all responded. And it meant that we weren't caught off guard. We took out the threat in time. They're now in a position where they're under direct fire when they spawn. So they're really under the cosh. And we've got complete control over the battlefield. As you can see, our teammates have got 9 out of the 10 tokens. We're going to hold this formation until all 10 tokens have spawned. Once they do, I'm going to break formation and move into the frontal position just to intercept any incoming sneak attack. So that happens, there's the 10th token, so I'm going to push forward now. I don't need to protect myself. I can use this pillar for cover if I need it, but I don't need to. Just running straight forward, and you see there, that was the Motor Blitz. Didn't have the chance to sneak attack forward, so we prevented that from happening and got the victory. Can't stress enough how important the minimap is. You always want to be keeping an eye on that. You want to pay attention to where your teammates are as well. So I've spawned on the right, so I'm pushing up the right and I'm trying to hold this position. FaceFull's pushed up the middle and now he's holding the front with the Rivonics. And we've got Mr Croat, who's also pushed up the middle and is holding that tunnel. I pushed forward, picked up a few tokens here, falling back to my position and just trying to maintain control of this side of the battlefield. It's going very well. I've noticed that FaceFull is on the right with me, so I've moved over to the left-hand side now. Now, this was the exact formation that this team has held for the past couple of games on this map. So we've got Mr Croat holding the middle, we've got FaceFull on the right, and now I've moved over and I'm holding the left, even though I spawned on the right. So this is a really good position for me. I've got this pillar that I can use to my left just to hide behind when I need to reload. Other than that, I can just maintain that long line of sight, do my job with the Ultra Select, and let my teammates do their jobs. We know that this strategy works well for this map because it worked well last time. However, there's a slight difference. Because I picked up those 3 tokens on my initial push, unfortunately I can't run forward as a meat wave at the end. I can't provide that distracting role, so instead I need to preserve myself and try and be a bit more conservative than I otherwise would be. However, I'm going to continue holding the left hand side because that's my assigned role. Know what your teammates are doing, know your role and play it. Don't try and hog one side of the battlefield if one of your teammates is consistently there. If they're there for a good reason. So just adapt, move to a different side of the battlefield and it will work for you. Paying attention to how your teammates play the game is key. Once you start to spot patterns in their behaviour, you can adapt yours around theirs and vice versa. Once again, I've spawned on the right, so I'm going to push up the front, laying down heavy covering fire as I go. FaceFull pulls forward up the middle and immediately moves to the right, so I drop back and to the left just like I did in the last game, and now we've taken the exact same formation we had in the last game. Look how seamlessly that happened as a team. We did that organically, nobody was communicating over Discord, we just moved because that's what worked in the last couple of games. And because we've adopted that position, we're now in complete control over the battlefield. I've got a great line of sight, and whenever I need to reload, I can just nip behind that little pillar, moving back out to shoot. So, nice and easy, just like in Time Crisis. If you need to reload, pull into cover, and then just jump straight back out and carry on. Nice and simple. I've learnt my lesson from last round, and I'm not going to push forward and pick up that token even though it's right in front of me, because I want to be in a position where I've got 0 tokens when the countdown's on, so that I can push forward into the front position and protect my teammates and hopefully meat wave a little bit. We're in a good position, we're now up to 8 tokens, so soon that countdown will start, so we need to be ready to push forward. So we can see we're up to 9, so what we're going to do is eliminate that threat, wait for that pinball to move, and then we're just going to push forward, and we're going to hide behind this pillar and wait until that countdown starts, at which point we can move forward and do our meat waving. Right, let's go meat wave. So we're going to push forward, we've got that healing card which we need to use pretty quick. Doesn't matter though, we've taken out that entire wave. You see my teammates have pushed up behind me as well, so complete dominance here, no one's messing around. Maintaining that V formation right to the end, beautiful. We've got to be aware of our teammates as much as we do our opponents on the battlefield. So jumping in this match, we start on the right hand side, so that's where we want to push to. We see immediately we get sneak attacked on the minimap, all 3 of us turn, take them out, took a second. You want to be constantly aware of where your teammates are and move around them, and likewise they'll do the same for you. FaceFull's forward with the Ravonics and has 2 tokens, so we're going to provide support in fire. FaceFull, obviously the tank is going to take some heavy fire, so if FaceFull drops the tokens, which they do, we're in a position where we're the next line of defense. We can try and defend against this wave, which we do successfully, which means we're in a position to pick these tokens up. You can see on the minimap how my teammates push forward to support me. They can see that I've got the tokens now and I'm furthest forward, so they're pushing up behind me and creating that defensive position so that I'm able to maintain the tokens and not die. And now we're in a position to push back forward again. Another token spawned, so I can push for that, so I'm going to run forward. Need to use that healing bar because I can take a bit of fire from that Phoenix. So that's that sneak behind us using a specific ability. You do need to be aware of the Phoenix because it's got this 3rd nerf ability, which means that it's invisible for 7 seconds after spawning, and obviously that means it can just surprise you out of nowhere. Its 1st nerf ability gives it the ability to do a lot of damage in a very short space of time, and as you can see by the statistics, it's got a very fast movement speed and a very short respawn delay. So if it's on the battlefield, you can expect it at almost any time to attack you out of nowhere. A skilled player can really take advantage of this and cause you a problem, but you can mitigate against it by making sure that you stick close to your teammates at all times, providing there's no Ironics or Microblaster, of course. The reason being though, that when this person appears out of invisibility out of nowhere, if you're close to your teammates, you can turn and face them together, and if they happen to surprise your teammate and take them out and they're holding tokens, you can hopefully pick them up and help them. So you can see there, the person with the Phoenix came in, but there was two of us there, immediately turned, it was a 2-on-1 situation, and we won. So the big takeaways from this video really are: pay attention to what your teammates are doing, learn to adapt around them rather than trying to work against them. Try and learn your power cars, try and learn your blasters, try and learn what the powers do in particular, and try and learn which particular threats are on the battlefield that you need to focus your fire on. You should always be scanning the opening screen to see what it is that you're coming up against. You might spot a particular set of blasters on the opposing side that gives you a hint that you might be playing against a human player rather than bots. That obviously should change your perspective as well. There'll be particular blasters, obviously the Rivonics is a key one, that you really want to target hard and fast and get down as quick as possible. Also, Rivonics on the battlefield means that you need to maintain a level of distance away from your teammates so you're not getting hit by the ricochet. Once again, your minimap comes in super useful for that. When you're facing the Rivonics in particular, you need to be aware that it's got nearly a 1 minute cooldown and that it can completely turn the tide of battle. So if you know you've got a Rivonics opposite you, you need to pay attention for that spawn and you need to concentrate on taking it out, and once it's down, then you know you've got a near minute window to try and win that particular battle. You've got a far higher chance of winning when the Rivonics is on cooldown than when somebody might spawn in with a Rivonics at any given point, so make sure you pay attention to that. I hope you enjoyed our first look at microtactics. We'll probably look at some more in the future if that's something you want to see. Thank you for watching, see you soon.